Greetings everyone. Welcome to Inside Out, a special series of interviews focusing on the importance of mental health and stress management. As we mark April as the Stress Awareness Month, we are privileged to introduce to you the collaboration of Beyond Stigma and Lamartine Girls College, Lucknow. Beyond Stigma is an NGO dedicated to connecting individuals suffering from mental health challenges to psychologists free of cost. Before we proceed further, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mrs. Das, whose unwavering support and guidance has been instrumental in bringing my idea to life. Thank you so much, ma'am. Today we have with us Professor Pallavi Bhatnagar, who started her career from IIT Kanpur in 1983 on a research project of IIT students. Thereafter, she has been teaching in the Department of Psychology at Lucknow University since 1985. Besides having 9 books to her credit, one of which is an international edition, she has also worked on a number of national as well as international research papers. Being a trained psychotherapist, ma'am has been providing psychological counseling to people in distress in her NGOs, Swasti, of which she is the honorary president.
Thanks, Ashvi, and my thanks to the principal here at LMGC for giving me an opportunity to talk about an issue which is so close to my heart, and that is mental health, And right now we have the need for bringing about mental health movement because the species of mentally healthy individual is becoming very extinct. So you got to save that. Absolutely. Right? And therefore, I personally feel that in order to bring about mental health awareness, the first step is to deal with the myths, to increase an understanding of issues which are related to mental health. Absolutely. And I guess today's interview and what you're doing is a step in that direction.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what is stress according to you?
Okay. Oh, well, stress works like an escalator. It can go in the forward direction or it can go in the backward direction. Now it's up to you. The direction and its choice will be yours. You can also say that stress is like, spice. When you add it to a dish in a proportion which is appropriate, it adds to the flavor of the dish, right? Right. But if you put very little of it, it's all bland and dull. And if you put a lot of it, you choke up with coffee. Okay.
Right.
So, well, there are a number of ways in which stress can be understood. And please remember, Ashvi, I'm not going to go for any kind of a classroom lecture, please. It's going to be just an introduction, yeah?
Yes, we would love that.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, do you believe that stress is in our surroundings?
Well, when we talk about stress in our surroundings, that's probably the first perspective regarding stress, that we use the concept of adjustive demand as a stressor, and when something unpredictable and something all of a sudden happens, like a hijack, like a death of somebody close to you, or an accident, then suddenly you don't know, you're not prepared for it. I remember ex coming to me and telling me, what happened was I was going on my scooter and I was going at a very slow speed, and something, a very heavy vehicle probably banged me, and I went up in the air and I knew I was gone. But then I fell with multiple fractures, and I don't know where all this stress came from. So this is a stress in the environment, or what you call stimulus-based definitions, when the triggers are in the surroundings.
All right. So, ma'am, some people have palpitation and some have butterflies in the stomach. So, what views do you have on that?
You see, this is another perspective about stress. Ashvi, lifestyles have changed,
Absolutely.
needs have changed.
Yes.
However, man remains same when the body of the man is concerned.
Hmm.
So no matter what the stress is, we respond just like the caveman in the same way, a strong, powerful physical way. Either fight the bear or run away from the bear. It's not possible in today's life that we run away from everything, but whenever there is a stress, a number of stress hormones are released in the system. And these days you must be hearing of the accelerated rate of heart attacks, coronary heart disease, mental breakdowns. And you hear the family saying, oh, he couldn't handle the stress.
Right.
He couldn't take it. It was the divorce was too much for him, or she succumbed to the pressure of the work. So she had this. So this is what you call the response. Stress as a response. Okay, but taking the two together, following Lazarus, there's an interaction model also. And the interaction model says that how you look at the stress in the environment and how you respond to it, the two interact. Give you an example. We are in a school setting. So a teacher comes to the class and says, hey, hello, instead of starting the next chapter, I'm going to give you people a surprise test. And the marks of the surprise test are going to be added to the unit test. Okay, and some have a choking here and a lump here, and some of them they start perspiring. Some have thoughts like, what if, oh my God, and what is the test about, ma'am? Oh, it's going to cover the last 3 chapters. Oh my God, I know the last chapter only. What about the other 2? What if I'm not able to do it?
Ma'am, that is a true
racing of the thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
That is how you cope with it. There are some students who are cool and they're writing the paper, tuck. And there are some who are really, wondering, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So that's about it. I would simply say, stress is being here, wanting to be there. Being X, wanting to be M. And the gap between the two is defining how you're going to understand your own stress and deal with it.
So, ma'am, next I would like to talk to you about the myths which surround stress, and we would love if you could debunk them for us.
Sure.
So, ma'am, there's a very common myth that if you don't have stress, it is a bliss.
Okay.
So, what views do you have on it?
Well, if you have no stress, hello, that means being stress-free. I would quote Chang, very popular and a pioneer in stress research, who said that a stress-free state is only one, and that is DEATH, that is death. So, if tomorrow anybody asks you that, hey Ashvi, come for the workshop, we'll be stress-free, please say no, I don't want to be stress-free right now, it's too early.
Right.
Let me tell you, stress is as essential for a person just as temperature is. The normal optimum temperature is 98.6.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what happens is if your temperature is 95, what do you do? 95.8, what do? You just put blankets over the person.
Absolutely.
To warm the person, and also to give warm liquids to help the person. Okay, but what happens if the temperature goes high? It is 105. Then you sponge the person with cold water or ice.
We cool them down.
Yeah, you cool them down because you want the temperature to come down. So therefore the thing is that if the temperature is optimum, the person is okay. Similarly, there is an optimum level of cortical arousal and stress which is essential for survival. But if it goes higher and it goes lower, in that case,
We have to
it impairs the functioning in either personal, professional, and other areas, and that's a need for some help.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Ashwi, do you have a bottle around?
Yes, ma'am, I do have a.
So I want you to hold it with one hand, just like this, no? No, from top. Okay. Yeah, go on.
Okay, all right, ma'am. So, ma'am, if there are no symptoms, then does it mean that there is no stress?
Well, frankly speaking, I do not agree to it. Scientifically, if you say there are no symptoms, then there is no stress. You can keep the bottle down. And one more exercise for you, because you are here with me.
Yes.
So how about closing your eyes
Okay.
very well so that you don't see anything?
Okay.
Yeah. Close them properly. Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. Now slightly open them. Don't remove the hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see, dear? Nothing?
No, nothing but some light. Yeah.
Some light, then please put them tightly over the eyes.
Yes, got.
Yeah. Now open them slowly.
It's
What do you
dark.
see? It's dark. Bring your hand down. Just as you close your eyes and you see darkness, it does not mean that there is no light around. Similarly, if you're not aware of your symptoms, it does not mean that there is no stress in your system.
Right.
In stress management workshops, I do teach people where is the stress point, how to take the fever of your stress. But right now, I would only say that people need to be aware of their symptoms. And some symptoms are internal. Being aware of your body from within is important. I have seen people telling me, "Ma'am, हमको तो कभी stress ही नहीं होता. I never have a stress. Oh my God." So that is simple denial.
Denial. Yeah.
Okay. So stress is there in everybody.
So, ma'am, does it mean that every person have the same level of stress?
No, that is also a myth, Ashwi. Just as there are different flowers and different types of plants, similarly, multiple truths, multiple realities, people are also different. So there are some genetic differences, and each individual has an experiential set of context within him, right? Which decides how is he going to view himself, how is he going to view the world. Is that all right? So each person has different coping reservoirs. So how you look at the stress and how you handle the stress, how you cope with it is different for everybody. Each person has different stress tolerance. Okay, go on.
So, ma'am, our next myth is that all stress is bad. Is this a sign of weakness?
Hello. This is definitely a long-standing myth. And myth is a misnomer, a misconception, a false belief that people hold for a long period of time. And what happens here is very simple. Distress and eustress is a classification given by a pioneer of stress research, Cooper. So he says, distress emanates from those life events which are distressful or negative life events. On the other hand, eustress is the stress which originates from positive life events. Even, topping the class,
Hmm.
getting admission in your
Dream college.
dream college, yeah, cracking NEET or cracking JEE,
Hmm.
or going for a party with your friends after a long time.
Right.
All these, or even for that matter, a birthday party, a promotion, a childbirth, these are all very, very positive life events. Yet, they cause cortical arousal and excitement within the system. So, if this is the baseline and you go up here, it is causing some kind of a stress.
Right.
Similarly, somebody's failure in the examination, somebody's sickness in the home, or death in the family, or any such distressing life event will cause sorrow, sadness, and such negative mindsets and emotions.
Right.
So you understand, it's a life events where one causing happiness and the other
Other
causing
causing.
negativity. Hey, I'm going to give you something interesting. We're sitting in the, please excuse my throat.
Ma'am, would you like some water?
We're sitting in the famous LMGC.
Yes.
Right. So this study was done by Glaser, and he said, let me find out if stress in students is having some kind of a bearing on their immune system.
All right, okay.
This was a study, 2-point study. So one in the regular school, their immune system was checked.
Hmm.
The other was during the examination.
Right.
Their stress and immune system was checked. And you'll be shocked, Ashwi. During the examination, stress, all of them, they said, oh, they're having a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Their immune system was suppressed.
Oh.
So, stress not only influences us in terms of our physical symptoms, but it also influences our immune system and adrenal system.
Okay.
So
Right.
that needs to be remembered. Yeah?
So, ma'am, how about the psychological and emotional symptoms?
Okay. The psychological and emotional symptoms of stress are a clear telltale symptoms. Anxiety, depression, anger, irritability, guilt, and of course sometimes negative thinking, negative mindsets, too much of preoccupation with the thoughts. And believe me, if you think something for too long, same thought, you start believing in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You start believing it to be true. Okay? So there is something like staying in the
Positive thoughts.
no, staying in the mental life. We have two lives, physical life and the mental life. And when we have too much of a stress, then you stay in this room, brain, this room which is not cleaned also, and it has a lot of garbage of years together.
Yeah.
It's not clean, and people sit there, and of course they're not able to concentrate, they're not able to attend, they have low self-confidence, they have low self-image, and they blame others, they blame self, and that's it.
All right.
If it is not handled at the right time, Ashwi, it predisposes the person to many stress disorders and mental health disorders.
So, ma'am, do any behavioral symptoms also exist?
Yeah, when you look at the person, you mean to say that if you look at the person, can you make out if he's having a stress? Okay, yes. So, typical symptoms, number one, the performance, whether it is academic or it is work, it comes down. Number two, the individual may take to alcohol, may take to cigarette smoking, or any such thing, any such drug also, toxin, and may have problem in controlling limits. Such individuals are also accident prone, and of course they have relationship problems, and very often they withdraw from others. And yes, some other behavioral symptoms like tapping on the floor,
Nervousness.
tuck 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 tuck
Yeah.
tuck,
Biting
and
nails,
biting,
yeah.
tuck 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 tuck. These things are there, and of course underweight or overweight. So either eating too much, so overweight,
Or not eating
or
at
not
all.
eating. Okay, having problems in the sleep. Okay. So these are issues which people around can see.
So, ma'am, can you sum up about the short-term and long-term stress responses?
Sure. Actually, if you look at the short-term stress responses, it's something like people experience butterflies in the stomach, a lump in the throat, heaviness in the chest, some pain here, and not feeling easy, some kind of a tightness here, a ringing in the ears, and it's a kind of a wound up expression. It's a kind of a wound up expression, and you start feeling pain here. You start feeling pain here, particularly in the neck and the shoulders, and not knowing exactly what you're doing and why you're doing, and what's going to come out of it. So it's in a state of confusion. I would simply say blank out. You talk to them, it's a blank expression. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm feeling really blanked out. Something has happened here. Okay. But if you talk about the long-term stress responses, paradoxically, there are serious stress responses. These people tend to become workaholics. They withdraw from social relations. Their relationships undergo heavy strain and conflicts. These people may take to drinking, smoking, substance of any kind, migraines, tension headaches, eating disorders, and besides that, there are feelings of suspiciousness, lack of trust in people. You can't trust people somewhere, and when you can't trust yourself, you can't trust people.
Absolutely.
Because the first relationship is with your own self, right? So they don't trust themselves also. Feelings of inadequacy come here, and a lot of judgment comes here.
Yes.
Judgment for self and judgment for others, okay? If there is no intervention done at this point of time, they end up with breakdowns, having number of problems, mental health and emotional problems. And when I personally feel, Ashwi, the worst toxins in the world are negative thoughts and unspent negative emotions. So these people, when they phase out, when they block out, when they withdraw, they suppress their emotional expressions too. That leads to number of mood disorders also.
Ma'am, can you please shed some light on some of the everyday tips and techniques which one should involve in their daily routine?
Yeah, I would definitely. Just a pointer for you to remember is that there may be many kind of stressors leading to everyday hassles or problems or real life stresses which appear to be a life and death issue. But remember, if there is suddenness of something happening, chronicity, multiplicity of the thing, along with that unpredictability and lack of control. These are 5 major factors which influence the coping of the individual. And when we are talking about everyday life stress, then remember, stress cannot be cured. Stress can only be managed. So, talking about stress management, the first thing that I would like you to do, you willing to do some experience with
Yes,
me?
ma'am, absolutely.
I
love to.
believe in it that experience is prior to any intellectual deliberations. Right. So you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Ashvi, I'd like you to take a deep breath and hold. When you feel uncomfortable, then you can breathe out. Okay, so it was 20 seconds. Okay, now supposing if I was to ask you to hold your breath for a longer period of time, how would you feel?
Uncomfortable, and I would like, yeah.
Exactly. So remember, what I am conveying to you is holding is disease. Life is a flow. We have blood circulation, we have energy flow, we have blood flow, and yes, anything that toxic that goes into our system also flows out, right? So the issue to be remembered is let things flow. Body has a very pure system of discharging what is toxic through diarrhea or anything like that. But here we keep holding things.
Right.
So we need to let go. That's number one thing. So just as you did this physical holding, there's also emotional holding. People hold on to their emotions for too long. So this is not the platform for dealing with that. We'll deal it some other time.
Yes.
However, I would also say that breath is the life force energy. Okay? And when we talk about breath, hello, this is the most significant broad spectrum medicine which all of us have with us. Okay? And most of the people are not aware of it. It stays with us all the time. How often do you stay with your breath?
Every time, like all the time.
Really? All the time? I mean, how often do you really stay cognizant and aware of your breath?
Not at all.
Not at all,
Not
yeah.
at all.
So, candid answer, congratulations for that. I would like you to, from today, to be more aware of your breath. Remember, when you connect with this life force energy, it would help you to instill peace with it,
To calm down.
to calm down, yeah? The other thing that I would say is very simple. We have a continuum of past, present, and future. Okay. So you are sitting here, I'm sitting here, we are here in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
We're talking to each other. You're wearing a very beautiful red dress, and you are wearing black jeans, okay? And all that I see, the flowers here and the two bottles here, it's all in the moment. What's going on? This is a physical life.
Yes.
So we breathe, we talk, we walk, we do all these things. It's all in the present.
Present, yeah.
But the mental life, either one is in past or one is in future. So it is almost always the regrets of the past which predisposes a person to depression. And the future, a lot of people are in the future, particularly your age and your career worries, a lot of future worries, okay? Planning for the future is okay, but making future your present is something which predisposes you to mental health issues. Okay? Because future is unknown. Because future is unknown, it is dark and we don't know anything about it.
Yes.
So it creates a lot of what if thoughts. It also creates a lot of anxiety within us. So
absolutely
apprehensions, what if, all this, and questions and self-doubts, it only creates a lot of anxiety.
Tension,
So if I would request you and all my friends who are watching to make a conscious, mindful effort to stay tuned to the present, because this is real. What is to happen, it's to happen here and now. Okay? And of course, another, there are many tips right now. The other one is we need to learn something from the animals.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a pussycat or a dog going to a psychiatrist and saying, "Oh, that pussycat is mewing so well and that doggy is barking so well and I'm not able to..."
No.
No. So this is my request to the parents, the caregivers, the teachers, not to compare the performance of the awards in children with anybody. And yes, students, you are bright ones, you are special, you are unique, there's nobody like you. Please do not make anybody else's yardstick your yardstick. So be happy with yourself and accept yourself in totality and be who you are.
Yes.
Don't be who you are not. I have seen number of people spending a lot of their time and years in trying to be who they are not. And that is predisposing them to mental health issues. Okay?
That was a beautiful answer, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you. Your insights and knowledge, they were out of the box. Thank you so much, ma'am.
It was great being here, Ashvi, and I only wish that more and more people become mentally healthy and save this mentally healthy
Yes,
species.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Arshita Das ji, and thank you, Ashvi.
Thank you, ma'am.